What if the story you've heard about Jesus is only a fragment, a shadow of a deeper truth? What if the burden he carried was not just the world's sins, but the invisible weight of being chosen? Have you ever felt that same quiet heaviness? A calling you can't fully explain, a loneliness that whispers even in crowded rooms. There's something few people talk about, the invisible pressure that follows those who carry a deeper truth. Not a role or a title, but a silent responsibility etched into the soul. In forgotten texts and quiet traditions, Jesus is not only the Savior, he is the mirror of those who walk the chosen path. A soul caught between heaven and earth, between divine insight and human fragility. You might recognize this feeling, a disconnect between what your soul whispers and what the world demands. The strange tension between a destiny you can feel and a life that seems too ordinary to contain it. Science echoes this weight. Dr. Bruce Lipton reminds us that our biology is shaped not only by genetics, but by belief, by the inner narrative we carry. When the story we live doesn't match the truth within us, every cell feels it. This silent burden becomes real, not just emotionally, but physically. The body remembers, the nervous system tightens, the energy dims. What if this is part of your calling, not a punishment, but a signal? Let's go deeper. The world talks a lot about manifestation, as if we can simply think our way into miracles. But the truth for a chosen soul is much more complex. As Dr. Joe Dispenza explains, transformation happens when the brain rewires its patterns, when thoughts and emotions align beyond survival, beyond programming. But that alignment is often a war zone, because the soul calls forward while the ego clings backward. The comfort zone resists destiny. So the chosen walk a different path, one filled with unseen resistance, the kind that can't be solved with a vision board or a mantra alone. Every time you choose truth over comfort, every time you face your fear instead of running from it, you're not failing, you're rewiring. You're crossing a threshold Jesus himself knew well. His story reveals this tug of war between surrender and control, divine knowing and human pain. In the garden, he asked for the burden to pass. In that moment, he was all of us. And still, he chose the path. This isn't mythology. It's the neuro-spiritual mechanics of awakening. The mind and the soul trying to walk the same path, finally. Now, what if we've misunderstood what power really looks like? The world tells us to be strong, to armor up, to be unshakable. But Jesus reveals another truth. That true strength is hidden in surrender. He wept. He prayed alone. He didn't suppress emotion. He moved through it. And in doing so, he accessed something few ever touch, the divine strength that comes from vulnerability. Braden has shown us how the heart's electromagnetic field responds to our feelings, how authenticity raises our frequency more than any technique or tactic. So what if dropping the mask isn't weakness, but liberation? What would shift in your life if you allowed yourself to be seen, fully, even in your confusion, your grief, your doubt? Maybe that's where your true power has been waiting all along. And still, it's not just about the deep or the mystical. The real transformation happens in the day-to-day. In the tiny rituals, the moment you breathe before speaking, the choice to respond instead of react, the practice of gratitude not as a hashtag, but as a recalibration. Neville Goddard often spoke of living in the end, imagining not only with the mind, but feeling with the body that your desire is already fulfilled. But you don't need his words to live that. You've likely tasted it before, that sacred moment when intention, emotion, and presence align. When you know, beyond thought, that you're exactly where you need to be. These are the micro-miracles of a chosen life. So what might happen if you honored those sacred moments more deliberately? Even the symbols that appear in your path, they are not random. The soul speaks in metaphor, always has. Jesus' life was filled with symbols: the fig tree, the storm, the thorn crown, the resurrection. Each a mirror, each a teaching wrapped in story. Carolyn Myss reminds us that archetypes live within us. They shape how we experience challenge and triumph. They speak in dreams, in synchronicities, in subtle feelings we can't explain. Have you noticed the signs lately? A dream that lingers, a repeated number, a stranger's words that pierced you unexpectedly. These aren't coincidences, they are invitations. Invitations to see your life not as random, but as a sacred unfolding. To recognize the soul's voice underneath the noise. So ask yourself, what is life trying to show me through the symbols that keep showing up? You don't need to understand it all. You just need to stay open. Because here's the truth. The hidden secrets of Jesus aren't hidden at all. They are encoded in your body, your emotions, your longings. They live in the questions that won't leave you alone. In the strange sense that you're meant for something more. Not something louder or bigger, but something deeper. To walk this path is not to escape the world. It is to meet it fully, soul first. Not to perfect yourself, but to carry your truth with grace. So as you exhale, gently ask yourself, what truth am I ready to carry with grace today? And may that truth set everything else in motion. May your path be gentle, and your soul steadfast.